The plan builds on well-established evidence, and those of you who received one of our plan booklets today, this is a third edition, hot off the press yesterday. You'll know that this does not repeat all the evidence about why investment is a good idea, why it's good for children, why it's good for workforce participation, why it's good for women's equality, why it's good for our economy. Otherwise, it would just be simply too big a document for any of us to lug around in our briefcases. So it builds on, it does not repeat all that great research that we all have. So we acknowledge that public spending, and we talk about this in our presentations, public spending on the early years is a wise social and economic investment. That quality childcare is early learning, and because many of the presentations we do are not to people in the ECE sector. In fact, most of them now are to people way beyond that who have no understanding of the lingo that we use or are aware of the details of the research and the evidence. So we explain that childcare is early learning, that they're not two separate things, even though in our province they're in two different ministries. We talk about high quality, promoting healthy development, and we talk a little bit about the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, to which Canada and our province are signatories, and the rights of children to access high quality care. And we're very clear, and for us it's a starting place, that current policies and approaches are simply not working. And it's one of the fundamental pieces when we went out in our consultation, and still to this day we talk about, that if there's something in our plan that you disagree with or you think isn't the right solution, then offer an alternative. Because the status quo is simply not acceptable to us, and we don't think it's acceptable to children, to families, to people who work in the field, and ultimately to our communities and our economy. So, if people don't like the approaches, then we respectfully ask for an alternative solution.